Hey guys, how's it going? Making sure we got sound and image. All right. Got my social medias happening. There we go. Share this. Share. Sorry, 1 second, guys. How's it going? I am just pushing this over to my Facebook page. Space Chuck. Hey, what's up? All right, let's see. Write a post. Here we go. Boom. Share it. Share it, share it, share it. Come on. Share. Share. Post. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. All right, I think we're ready. Okay, I don't know. Oh, I think I might have shared it twice. Anyway, what are you guys up to today? How's it going? Wonderful Monday. Spring is in the air. And we have a mouse to pose, I think. A mouse to pose. I just wanted to color this thing up. This knife. How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm just trying to get into the groove of things here. Let's fill this with the color. And I'm going to subdivide this so I can get some real color on it. Let's see, 22, 800,000. There we go. You can barely hear me? Okay, how's that? Is that better? That's pretty. Let me bring my mic in. Is it still having issues? I don't want to turn it up too loud because it's pinging in my yellow in my bands right now. I'm kind of muttering too today. Sorry about that. Okay. Is that better? Let's see. Yellowish green. Fill. And that's better? Okay, cool. Sorry, I was probably mumbling. Mumble. Turn off perspective, and I'm going to cut a couple of bands in here. Maybe like that. Fill those. There we go. Sure, that works. Hey, what's up, Hiram? All right. Winston, what's going on, you guys? Thanks for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Super cool of you. Okay, I want to color the color of this blade a different color. So I'm going to go down all the way to the lowest. Oh, my dynamic is turned on. Turn that off. Thanks, Neil. I pulled a good practical joke on Pixelogic today. I'm pretty happy with it. I asked him if it would be okay if I did the whole stream in Blender today. I was laughing. Sorry, Kyle, if you're listening. Okay. He believed me for a minute. uh. Oh, it didn't fill this side. That's weird. I guess it didn't go all the way around. Hey Craig, how's it going? Things are well. Thank you very much. All right. Now I don't want. Oh, you like this hat, Sophane? Thanks. No, they have a good sense of humor. It was pretty funny, though, I have to admit. All right. I don't want the lower, this side of the blade to be colored that blue. Only the top. Let's see. Okay. So let's fill this. There we go. That's better. That's what I want. Okay. Cool, cool. Hey, what's up? Thanks, Pedro. This is just the... Oh, so this is Joseph Druss. It's just the material that ships with the new 2019. This material right here, this cartoon render. So, yeah, that's all it is. I could probably turn my shadows down. The object shadows, that would help. There we go. That's a little better. Hey, what's up, Joner? Django. All right. So I think I want to pose him and then finish him off after I get him posed. So before I do that, though, I want to make this cheese badge thing. I want to make it real, which it's right here in this folder. So Boolean with sub D, boom. Okay, where'd it go? Oh, right here. Wow, that looks weird, but it worked. It worked. Neil, I haven't. I should, but I haven't yet. I'm sure it'll work just fine, but I have not done that. Let's see. That's what it looks like. Oh, the Stan Winston, nice. That should be fun. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this and see if what happens with the new Z remesher. To see what, I'll save it first, because the Z remesher is supposed to work really well with things like this. Keep groups, go. No, that didn't work. I need to turn on detect edges. Detect edges, there we go. What if I turn keep groups off? There we go. That's better. Wonder if no, that's not going to work. I was trying to get rid of these scalloped edges along here, but it's not working. But that's good enough. I can smooth this down. Hey, from Brazil. Yeah, man. No worries, Lucas. Thanks for hanging out on your Monday. Hope you're having a good Monday in Brazil. How's the weather? Just smoothing this whole thing down a little bit, just to take off those hard edges. That looks pretty dang good, I think. I'm excited about that. All right, let me see if I have any questions here. You have some advice to pose mechanical characters in ZBrush? I'm going pretty mad on move and rotating multiple subtools depending. Yeah, what I would do is I would put your parts into polygroups after you go into Tipos Mesh. Like say if you put your whole arm from the between each joint. So put from your shoulder to your elbow, whatever parts you have inside of there, make that all one polygroup. And then and it won't affect whether you can go back up or down. When I say back up, I mean, after you hit Tipos Mesh, it won't matter if you go back, it will still work. So you can do temporary polygroup assignments when you're in Tipos Mesh, when you're posing it. So those will just help your selections. Then you can just select, you know, your from the elbow down and then rotate that. It'll be much easier. Hey, what's up, Corinne? How's it going? Oh, how do you like that, Craig? I was actually thinking about, I might sell this one and get a 22 and get the 4K resolution monitor with the better color. I'm tempted. I don't know if I will or not, but I'm tempted. So I might be selling this eventually. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Tenchi? Student in Ghana. Hey, how's it going? Okay, let's see. Now that I have this, I can delete my cheese. Delete my cheese. I don't say that very often. Delete this one. Okay, so that's that. And I wonder if I can delete this whole folder. I think I can. Delete folder. Boom. Did it kick everything out of it? It did. Okay, so I need to hit delete all if I'm going to do that, not just delete the folder. But since I have this live boolean in another tool that's already saved out, I can feel good about deleting these parts that I don't care about. Now I can turn live boolean off and the cheese remains. Dan, my signature would make it worth less, right? I'll just put a Sharpie right here. Okay. Oh, you haven't tested it fully? Well, what do you think so far? Is it all right so far? The only other thing is I'm gonna do the live boolean out of his ears, but I think I'm gonna do that after I pose him. So let's pose him first, and then we'll do the live boolean action. Okay. So let me save this again. Mouse 8. Funny. Okay, there's the sword. Make sure everything is showing. What is this? Oh, that's that little piece right there. Okay. And then I'm also going to do the little bitty details, the tiny little details after I pose him too. Oh, Starve, you did? Awesome. Very cool. Well, thanks. Welcome, welcome. And if you guys don't know what Starve an Artist is talking about, I have an online course. It's called, you might have guessed, the 3D Character Workshop right here. And it's open right now. If you go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, I made the buttons a little more visual so you can check it out. And I've made a presentation. It's really short. It's only like 23 minutes. And it's essentially, I tell you all about the course and everything you'll get with it. So if you want to check that out. And I also give away my brushes, all the brushes across the bottom that you see that have interesting icons right here. These are all my brushes. And what else? And if you want this user interface and my ruler file. So I have a brand new ruler. It's actually not in this file. This is my old ruler. But I made a new one for 2019. You can go grab that right now. It's on my front page of my website. Thank you very much, Neil. It's funny that it pops an emoji in that address. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to test to make sure that he's going to be able to go down into pose and back up again. I don't know why I call it down and back up, but it's It's like diving down into the low poly to pose it and then coming back up to the high poly and see if it works. Oh, just make sure you have the latest drivers, Craig. You probably do, but just making sure. No worries, Dan. It'll be there when you're ready. Mess with that ear. Okay, we're gonna test going down and back up. Oh, the Facebook one on your phone? Yeah, possibly. Okay, so I'm gonna hit Tipos Mesh to push him down into Tipos Master. And we're gonna cross our fingers. It'll take a second. Okay, here we are, and it takes on whatever color I had selected last, which was this orange color. Can make it this gray color, which is kind of fun. Now what we can do is go back up. So before I pose it, I always take it back up to see if there's any problems with it. So I hit T-pose again. Am I a bit old to be sculpting cartoons? Never! I'll be sculpting cartoons when I'm 95. Okay, looks like it worked. We're good to go. All right. Let's hit T-pose mesh. Okay. Now, I can't really see the information as far as you know, what he looks like very well. So I'm going to switch to skin shade 4 so I can see him better, and change the color of him so I can see him better. Okay, and now I'm just going to start. His pose isn't that crazy. It's essentially a head turn, and the hardest thing is going to be to get his arm to be posed like this with his fingers behind his hand right there, and his fingers wrapped around the sword right here. So it's not going to be too bad. Okay. Usually I start with the hips and go up from there. Make sure I have symmetry turned off. I'm going to rotate him like this. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. And let's grab this sword. So what are you guys working on today? What are you sculpting? Say cartoons. You'll notice that the very crisp shadows stayed the same, even though I'm in skin shade 4. That's what I want to hear. Sculpt cartoons. Okay, I'm probably going to be moving this knife all over the place. Have any of you had a problem with the Intuos pen? Continue to affect the screen when you take the pen off the surface. For example, when I go to change the brush size and bring my pen down to the canvas, it's still affecting the brush size. Oh, okay. Are you using S to do that with? The hotkey S, like this? Sometimes when you're using the S hotkey, it will kind of park. See, it just did it right there. See how it's like parked down there on my screen, even though my brush is over here? So it depends on how you, like the order that you do the clicking. So if you just have to kind of go back down here and then move when it goes away. So sometimes you'll just kind of accidentally move off of that brush slider and it'll stick. Trying to improve your Christmas sculpt. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Whitney, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that after I pose him. The ears. Make the ears. I'll do the detail after he's posed. Okay, let's see. This is gonna be tricky. Let's see, because I don't know exactly how long that handle is, and it's like cutting his ear. You can't really see it from this angle. Let's see what happens if I make this huge here. Okay. Yep. Is that like Three Blind Mice, that song? Chopped off their ears with a butcher knife. But this is a cheese knife. Whoa. That's weird. Look what it did. It like drug some of these faces off. See these little faces? So I'm going to undo this until it goes back to where it was before. There. So when I masked it off, it must have not grabbed some faces down here. Make sure it's clean. Let's try that again. Okay. Trying it again. And to get this angle is going to be super tricky to get it to work right. I think. Maybe like this. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna go up and chop his ear. So when I turn his head, it'll get away from that knife. Am I going to rig him? No. This is just, I'm making him for 3D print at this point. I mean, I might make him riggable eventually, but not right now. For portfolio, making some busts are great, or full body. It depends. What do you want to, what kind of business are you trying to break into? Are you going to do games, collectibles, or what are you looking for? Okay, now that we have the knife in place, for the most part, let's turn his head. Right, Mav? Totally. It's like what he's going to do with that. It's like I just picture it being like a two-handed sword. You know, you don't really sheath a two-handed sword. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to mask this whole thing off. And then unmask this. There we go. Just kind of get it where I want it to be. Turn his head. I'm going to tilt it back just a little bit. Still prints. So let's see. So characters for a company and marketing. So basically still prints. With still prints, if you think the companies, well, look at the companies that you want to work for. If they're doing busts of characters, then do busts of characters. If they're doing full characters, do full characters. Because the whole point of a portfolio is to show a company that you can do the work that they need you to do, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to get a job with a certain company, show them that you can do what they need you to do. That's kind of the point, to do that. So if you do that, good to go. Okay. And I'll be moving his ear and stuff. So Neil, what are you asking? Do you ever get the warble retopoed? What do you mean by that? Oh, did I? Did I ever get it retopoed? I did not. I did not. I'm going to tilt his head a little bit like this. Let's put him in perspective here. And that camera's too much, so maybe like this. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. How did I color this guy? This is just this right now. This is just poly groups, but I just colored him with poly paint, and he has a. So the guy in the left is a drawing. This is a painting on the top left. That's my reference. But how I actually colored him was poly paint, and he has a cartoon shader on him right now. Yeah, no worries, Lucas. I hope it helps. Okay, so let's bend his leg now. Looks like we have some flip normals on his boots. So we will just pose it anyway. Turn perspective back off, turn the floor on, just so I can kind of see where that floor is. Yeah, you pose it. So you use Tipos Master. That's right over here. It's a plugin called Tipos Master. And what it does is it gathers all of your subtools, makes them low resolution, and makes one Z tool out of that. And then you pose that. And then when you're done, you hit this T-pose sub-T, and it will push everything back up to the high resolution. It's pretty nifty, if you ask me. So you don't have to rig it to pose it. You just have to get good at masking. That's kind of the key skill of posing is masking. And, you know, the pose itself, but okay. This is a pretty simple pose. Let's see. Like I said, the hand one's going to be the trickiest, and I might have to do some trickery with that one. But I'll pose his left hand first. Let's see. I also want to skinny him up overall, or narrow him up. So I'm just going to narrow the whole body a bit, like that. I think I went too much. There we go. Okay. Now when I'm posing and concentrating, I tend to babble, like me. So I apologize for that. Yeah, fingers can be a beast for sure. Okay. I'm going to leave everything hidden. Blur that mask out. What's up, Lord? Yeah, it's really good. That's why I modeled it. Well, I chose to model it because it's so good. It's like, man, good stuff. Okay. Need to blur that mask. Hey, Raul, how's it going? Hired gun? Yes, it is. It is indeed. So let me blur that more because I'm going to be rotating this like this. And when that happens, it tends to mess up your mesh a lot. How did I blur the mask? It's in my menu right here, blur mask. Where you can actually find it is in Tool, Masking, Blur Mask. So over here, masking right here, and then blur mask is right there. See that? And you can also hold Control and just tap on the surface, but that will only do a directional blur, which is it starts from the blur line and blurs into the mask. And if you hold Control plus Alt and tap on the surface, it will sharpen the mask. Or there's a sharpen mask right here. But the using Control and Control plus Alt, that's like it's a partial mask. It doesn't blur across both sides. It's kind of weird. Hard to explain, but if you practice it, you'll kind of understand how it works. Okay, I got to clean this up in here. It's kind of messed now. Okay, get over here so I can see what I'm doing. Bring that volume back, smooth it out. Okay. Those little muscles. And then, yeah, they're coming out from that shoulder. And then he's got these fingers. I'm pretty much going to be resculpting these fingers anyway, so. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to bend that arm almost. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this this blade to kind of shove through right here. It's going to be tricky. And then turn it. Yeah, it's cutting through his ear. And then rotate it like this. I think that will work. Okay. Tenchi, I've not seen the Captain Marvel movie yet. Is it good? I've heard there's a good tribute to Stan Lee on that one. Can't wait. I want to see it. I just haven't had the chance yet. Let's hide these shoulder bits for a moment. Oh, looks like I missed some over there. Okay. Yeah, that's not the first time I heard that. It's a decent Marvel film, but it's not incredible. I should have blurred that first. Blur. There we go. I don't want to make it look like his hand, because your shoulder can only rotate so far, right? So I don't want to go past that point to make it look like his arm is broken. Let's clean this up again. Bring that volume back. Okay. Now, while we have everything else hidden, I'm going to start just to fold those fingers down. And there's a trick you can do with masking where you hold control and then you click and drag down an appendage and it will it will mask everything off except for that appendage. So like this finger, for example. And then it depends on where you draw the line where the mask will go to. So I think I just want to curl the tips of these fingers in, but I do want to move them like this. You can also do one of these if you want a bit of a sharper mask. Yeah, you can do it down the arms and stuff too. So, like for example, I'm holding control, drag down the arm, see that? And you can just kind of rotate around to get a clean mask like that. But it's not going to do that. It's only going to do that on the connected shape. It won't do that with extra things. Like everything's hidden right now so you can't see it. But if there was like, you know, that little wrist guard thing, it wouldn't go along for the ride. So you have to, you have to make sure that you have that either in or out of your mask if you're going to move the arm along with it. So see this little wristband. So for example, I'll do it one more time, Dan. If you click control, drag it, see down the elbow like this, let go, it's going to mask everything on that object except for it'll leave everything unmasked from there forward. But see how it didn't grab the wrist guard? That's because it's not part of that mesh. So you'd have to unmask that to make it go along for the ride. And I do want to turn his wrist. So let's do that. And I want to center this gizmo inside the wrist a little bit. Then I can turn it like this. And I want to move this whole arm kind of down and forward. Hey, what's up, Peter? So let's hide that sword and just kind of sneak a mask through here. Like that. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do a move elastic this time. And that's going to move everything together a little more squishy, like that. Squishy. You got to be careful with move elastic because it's a fast brush. It moves things really quickly. So you just kind of have to be careful with it. Oh, Peter, that's cool. First time. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's hide everything, and I'm going to use inflate and fix these fingers. They're kind of bugging. And when you pose stuff in ZBrush, you will mess up your mesh. You're gonna mess it up. So just don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. And when you're posing stuff, just think about how you are gonna mess it up the least. If that makes any sense. Because you are gonna mess it up. Come on with this model, what does that mean? Like you want me to hurry? You can't rush goodness, man. Toonbox Studio, hey, what's up, Paris? How you doing? Paris, I've been meaning to talk to you. Send me an email and remind me, just so I don't forget, if you would, please. Thoughts on the subscription model? Personally, I love it. Why do I love it? Because people get access to ZBrush where they couldn't before, if they couldn't afford it before. And they're not being jerks about it, meaning they're not taking away the perpetual license and making you subscribe like other software companies I know. They're doing both, which is fantastic. So you have your choice, right? You can either subscribe or you can buy the perpetual license. And if you already own the license, you don't have to subscribe at all. So it's not like it's one or the other, which is great. Awesome, Paris. That's great. I saw your new your new girl with the bunnies. It's really clever how you have to swipe to see all three. That's really cool. I've not seen that done before. So cheers to that. Do I ever remesh after I pose? No, not particularly. I will. I mean, this is meant for, the reason I'm doing this is for like to print out in 3D. So I usually am done with remeshing by now. But if I was to make a game character out of it, now that's a different story. I would retopologize that by hand if that was the case. Swipeable posts. I'll have to look into that. That's pretty cool. So Paris is a Toonbox Studio, fantastic 2D artist. He does some really, really cool stuff. You should check him out. Give him a follow. Watch him on Instagram. He has some courses on how to draw. Fantastic stuff. There's your shout out, Paris. Thank you very much, man. So Paris helped me. He helped me get my course going in the very, very beginning. And I appreciate that, Paris, a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. That's why I need you to email me. We'll talk about it. Okay, so let's fold these fingers around. I'm sure that's it. Yeah, Neil. Yeah, that very first one, the top left post on there. Yeah, you can swipe to see, it's like three pictures in one. Really cool. Swipeable posts. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do the masking trick again. I want to mask it a little further down the finger. Actually, I'm gonna isolate just the arm and the sword. Hey, Sumerian. What's going on, man? You've encountered a weird thing when using your Imm brush to block out a character. I know you're a student. After I make the sphere, I use the gizmo to stretch and shrink the sphere, but the sphere itself moves off the gizmo axis and warps in weird ways. Make sure you have local symmetry turned on. That's probably the issue. Local symmetry is right here. Local symmetry. Because the scale will work on world and local axis. So if you have local on, it'll scale on its own axis. I'm doing this versus the world axis like this. If that's what you're running into. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. And then also make sure you're snapping your cameras. So when you move stuff around, you're not pulling it off of symmetry accidentally. Okay. Hope that helps. I'm going to go to the old transpose line. Ye old transpose line. Pose this finger. Okay. Just kind of move it around. It looks like he's like daintily holding the sword. La. The sword is as light as a feather. Okay, next one. Awesome. Yep, my pleasure. Glad that was it. Because if it wasn't, I don't know if I'd have an answer. But that's pretty common. Oh, thanks. Rink. Bend the next finger over, and then let's squish these fingers together. Whoops. I need to mask this off, not... There we go. Need to turn this range to 3. So this is the topological range. That makes it so... so I can move one finger without moving the other. It's funny you asked that because I did an April Fool's joke on the Pixelogic peeps. I was asking them, I'm like, because this is a Zbrush Twitch channel. This is not Blender channel. And I said, hey, do you guys care if I do my whole stream in Blender today? That's funny. Sorry. I'm not that good with April Fools, but that made me laugh. They were actually cool about it. They were like, as long as you show, it's fine as long as you show some ZBrush stuff. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Oh, funny. Now he's got the single pinky up. Very dapper. Very dapper sword holding. Ding! With the pinky. I tried using the Shane ruler for import-export between ZBrush and Blender, and it was close, but no cigar. Is it pretty problem-free with Maya? It is problem-free with Maya. Every single program, just so you know, is different. I'm not going to get into it here, but I can show you the way to test it. So if you go to the ruler, where's my ruler? Okay, well it's this file. This file here. If you go to the ruler, and you can see it right here. After you've scaled your character to the ruler, make sure your character is inside the bounding box of that ruler. And then if you go down to export, you can see it is set to a scale of 100, because when you go from ZBrush to Maya with FBX or OBJ, it will scale it up 100 units. And that is how it will fit and match. And coming back from Maya back into ZBrush, it will just work that way, as long as you're using meters inside of Maya. Now Blender, if you want to go back and forth between Blender that same way, you might want to test this scale number. So the scale might be a 10, it might be a 1. It's usually in increments of 10, 1, or 100, or 1,000. Sometimes it could be a percentage, like, 67.8. I have no idea when it comes to that. But try the increments of 1, 10, or 100 first, and then try, the decimals after that. So anyway, okay, let's go back. Where's my pose? There we go. I hope that helps. Okay. Thanks, Paris. We'll get there. He'll be the other arm is what I'm looking forward, or I'm worried about posing, because it's going to be tricky. Tricky. Whoops. I keep forgetting to mask this off, not hide it. If you want to get good at posing, you should get good at hiding and masking. Hiding, showing, and masking. That's the key to good poses. Besides the pose itself, obviously. Okay. Need to make these fingers not the same size. Okay, now it's time to bring this thumb in. It's going to be quite the stretch, but we'll do it. All right. Kind of looks like he's got a broken hand now. Let's pull it down. Give him some more fat on the inside of that thumb. Not that much. There we go. I think that works. What do you think? Give a little change of direction in that elbow. Do I have my left hand on the keyboard? I do. I do. So I wish I could show you guys. I have a keyboard tray underneath my desk, and then I rest my fingers on Control, Alt, and Shift at the same time. I usually put my thumb on Alt to navigate. That's my navigation. And then I will switch between Control and Shift. Those are the main keys that you use in ZBrush. Now, when I had my older Cintiq, it was a 24-inch HD, and that had buttons over on the left and right sides of the screen. And I liked that one a lot better because as far as like productivity, not as far as display, the display on this one is sweet. It's really nice. But as far as productivity, I like the other one having the buttons built in because then I can hold my fingers on the left-hand side of the screen and then put this down in my lap to give me better posture when I'm sculpting. This one, I can't pull the screen down as far, and I have to have my keyboard, so I can't have my chair as high, so my legs, I'm not sitting properly, I guess. I'm a little hunched over. So anyway, yeah, it's nice because it has the scroll wheels too, and I put the brush size on that little scroll wheel, and I put the up and down subdivision levels on the scroll wheel on this side. And then I have undo and redo and all the, the Control, Shift, and Alt. It was really super nice. That's what I used when I was doing the Disney Infinity characters. And yeah, it just sped up production quite a bit doing it that way. What are you saying? The shadow, that shadow on the face on view does not do him any favors. It kind of looks like he's wet himself. Oh, you're talking about right here? Yeah. That's funny. Poor guy. He's nervous. He's a nervous little guy. Okay, I'm just gonna bring the whole. I want. He's kind of doing this thing, and I want him to pull this. There's an extra bone in here in your hand, and I want it to pull forward, so it doesn't look like he's stretching that much. It's gonna squish and look weird for a minute, but we'll fix it. Okay, and then this, maybe bring that in like this. I'm just trying stuff at this point, get it to kind of look not broken right now. Okay, we'll see what that looks like. Better. That's better. Okay, it's not so weird. So yeah, I have is it? I don't know where it went. It came with a remote. I don't even use it because it just slides right off of here. It's supposed to stick and stay. I think I might get some double stick tape, but it just, I don't know why, but it just slides. The magnetic isn't strong enough. And they even, Wacom was nice enough, they even gave me a second one, and the second one still slides. So I think it's the magnet inside of the Cintiq that's not strong enough, but I just don't use it. That's why I'm using the keyboard. A lot of people use the remote and love it. It's just, I don't know why. It's just not my thing, I guess. Okay, let's pose this other arm. Okay. Boom. Come on. Whoop. Get out of the way. Sometimes, there we go. Joe Pesci. They in the drive-thru. That's all I remember about Joe Pesci on Lethal Weapon 2, I think it was. Talking about how they screw you in the drive-thru. But he doesn't say screw you. Oh, one of his best scenes. Good job, Joe Pesci. Okay, not that far, about like this. Then I'm going to switch back to Gizmo for a moment. Thanks, Paris. You would know. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Paris draws some fantastic cartoon animals as well. Okay, so I need to start rolling this arm forward because by the time it gets down to his hand and his wrist, it's going to be turned all the way upside down and backwards. So I need to kind of work the roll inside every joint as it goes down. Otherwise, it'll all be in the wrist. And I could do that and just hide the mess underneath this wristband. But I'm just trying to get it to work. Blur. Okay. And you can cheat it. It depends on if, whoops, let me go this way. It depends on if he has a bunch of details on his arm or not. Like if he had tattoos or something, you couldn't really cheat because it's, you know, the texture is going down his arm. So, but with if it's just a solid color, you can cheat with it. Excuse me. Hello from Kenya. Wow. What time is it in Kenya right now? And thanks for hanging out. That's cool. Okay, so we're gonna twist his arm and break it. I'm not looking at it where his hand is. I'm just looking at where his arm position is. And I'm trying to get that silhouette right there. Okay. Blur. Kenya, man. I had one of my good friends, his family's from Ethiopia. I don't know how close that is to Kenya. Okay. There we go. I like that. Now let's clean this up. Go back and start the twist, then bend the arm. No. I'm just gonna fake it. He's 3D printed. If this was a real, if this was like a, I don't know, rigged guy, that's what I would do. Actually, what I like to do first is I like to bend the tips of the fingers first and then the next row, as if he's got a knuckle here. Like that. So Fane, my family heritage is Swedish. That's where the name Olson comes from. I didn't know that I looked Swedish. So Olson is Swedish, and Olsen is Dutch or Danish. I think it's Dutch. Okay, now I'm going to really need to fix these fingers. From Thailand, huh? Nice. I love Thai food, but I've never been to Thailand. But I like American version of Thai food, so it's probably not close to authentic Thai food, or maybe it is, I don't know. Let's use it, inflate, close these fingers up a bit. Okay. I've never been to Sweden either. Just America. I want to go. I want to visit places. I'm going to start with the middle finger on this one and then fold the other ones around it. Leave that last pinky out. That's funny. Whoa, try it again. Sometimes it's hard to get that masking trick to work. Okay, now that the fingers look like hoses, essentially, come back here and just work out the hand poses and square them off. Hey Christina, how's it going? It's weird because Sue, this is Zbrush. Zbrush. It's weird when you're posing a character because you can't really save your character when it's posed like this, but you can see how it says, if a Tipos mesh is selected, press this button to save disk. You can click that and hit save Tipos. And I'm just going to set it here for a minute. Where are we? Twitch. Okay, I'll just put it right here. That way, if ZBrush crashes or something, I can recover my pose. Hey, what's up, Emma? Is there a way to separate just the subtool menu out in a panel or something by itself? I hate having to scroll up and down the side menus so many times to do anything. Dan, that is why I have this menu. This menu, this custom menu, that's my tool list. So these are all of my most commonly used things inside that tool list. So if you have my user interface, you can test it and see if you like it. If not, you can edit this menu to match or make your own menu for that matter. There are some YouTube videos out there teaching how to make menus like this. It's really easy. Easy, easy. Then you just put your most used things in there. How are you, Emma? How are things? Doesn't the white background hurt your eyes? Honestly, no, it's opposite. So with my eyes personally, white text on a black or very, very dark background will give me eye grains. It's weird. They're called eye grains. It gives me like spots in my eyes for about 15 minutes until it goes away. Really strange. So my eyes like light stuff. Light background. It's really weird. But I apologize if it hurts your eyes. I can change it to a medium gray. I usually work in a medium gray. I just wanted to work in the cartoon shader with this guy just to kind of see how it worked and if I liked it or not. And so far it's all right. Does it give you guys headaches watching a white screen? Widen this up. Yeah, you can, it's easy to just make whatever menu you want. The reason I have my brushes down at the bottom is because I like minimum hotkeys. The only hotkey I use is the number 2 to pull up my menu. That is it. Everything else is on my user interface. And the reason why is because when I had my other Cintiq with the buttons on it, everything was just kind of at, you know, at my beck and call, I guess. Really, really easy to access. Oh, hey, David. Okay. So you don't mind? That's all right. I'll probably go back to the darker gray after this character. Okay, I need to like see the silhouette. I need to push the silhouette on him a little bit more. I'm going to do that. I just want to see more of his hand and his fingers from this side. It's called scotoma? Interesting. I've never known someone else to have it. It's really strange. It's really weird when it happens. And I can almost trigger it. Like, ArtStation is very dark with white text, And if I look at text on ArtStation for too long, it triggers it. And it'll just, I can't, and it's weird because it's just like there's missing information in my eyes. Like a spot of it is just missing. It's not black, it's not white, it's just missing. I can't explain it any differently. But, and then another weird thing is it'll move, that shape that's missing will move around my vision for about 15 minutes until it goes away. So my eye doctor called them eye grains or migraines of the eye or whatever, but they don't give me a headache. They don't, it doesn't hurt or anything. It's just annoying. The aftermath of a no, that's kind of white, right? That's kind of white light. It's like, you know, sometimes when you look at a bright white light and then you look away and there's still an image there, it's not even that. It's just not there. Like I could hold my hand up to the side of my face and look straight and I couldn't see it in my peripheral vision. It was just gone. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, there we go. Like that. I want his elbow a little further forward, just in space overall. I want him to kind of be doing his, you know, putting his shoulder forward, and because he's like, da-da, you know, that three Mouseketeers. Okay, and then I want to move his tail. Oh, you did, Emma? Wow. More than one person. Crazy. Okay, let's blur this mask out. Let's grab this move. I might have to use snake hook for this. This is move elastic. Okay. I wish his arm was closer to his left arm. I wish it was up and closer to his head like that. I might let me try something here. Sometimes you have to break it to fix it. Okay, let's see. Let's show everything. Maybe something like this. See, if I put it too far back, it breaks his arm. Oh, Spirit Truck, no, I was talking about my eyes problem. My eyes will go into it'll go into a weirded out state that I can't quite explain. Okay, so I like where it's at now, but now I need to go and fix that shoulder so it looks like it makes sense. Okay, I need to be in move mode. And his arm got skinny from moving it around. Okay, now I need to make the armor match. Yeah, Joanna, that is exactly it. I think it's those of us that just stare at a computer screen all beeping day. that's kind of, it started for me back in probably 2002, and I just get them every so often, and it's usually when I'm staring at a black screen with white text. That almost always kicks it off and makes it happen. Or if I'm looking at a screen with white text and I hurry and switch to a white screen with black text, like the opposite contrast, it'll just go like bing and just like, oh, there's my eye grain. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know if I can get it to do that, because it's gonna hit his ear, right? If I pull it in to where this is resting on his shoulder, it'll cut into his ear. So the original concept artist, you know, he's not looking at the back of it. So I would actually have to go and ask him, what does that look like from the back? And sometimes you just kind of have to figure out the best way. Because if I turn the blade to be like resting on his back right here, from this angle, it's going to be twisted. Here, let me try it. Let me just try one thing. I'll just try rotating it from this angle. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Yeah. See, now it's going into his head. So you just got to find the sweet spot for all things. If it was too much like this, like resting on his back, then it would be way twisted out here on a weird angle, right? It's better like this, I think. I think it's just the contrast, you know, like really bright whites and dark darks. I don't think it really matters either way. Yeah, Andy, I've been there. Hold on just 1 second. I need to reply to this guy. $40. There you go. Okay, so let's see what else. What else was I looking at? I want to pull this belly down overall like this. I want to pull this collar up kind of in his face like that. In the pose, it's in front of his teeth, so it's like really pulled up, but okay. You just kind of got to assess everything, and then his ear is really tweaked out back here. So I'm going to pull on that. And kind of make it work. Be kind of cool if its ear is touching into the blade, because that'll actually help with 3D printing if it is, because the ear will actually help support the blade up in the air. but I do want to keep his ears roundish. There we go. And then let's pull this down back here. So you want it to look good from the concept art angle, but you also need it to look good from this angle too. If he's going to be 3D printed, you need to be looking at all the angles. This one. There we go. Now I want to really tweak his face and mush his mouth. Let's see, I don't want to mess up his eyes though. So I'm going to hide that sword for a minute. Let's mask this off. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to really mess with his face here. Put it in perspective. Is there a way to keep the size of the texture and alpha locked but still change the size of the brush? Right now, if I need a small brush size, it also changes. Dan, not that I know of. I think it just, yeah, it just kind of matches the size of the brush. It's not like a, if you want to do that, you'll have to use Spotlight. So I'm using Spotlight as a reference image right now. But you can also use it as a stamp that you can float over your character and then like color over the top of it, and it'll transfer that down to your model. The comic book look is a material and a filter. So it's both actually. Right now it has the hard shadows turned on, but it's the material. It's material. As soon as you hit PBR render, that's when the filters come into play. The filters don't turn on until you have a render actually happening. But this is just skin shade 4, but it has the shadows as crispy, like tight shadows right now. So it's kind of looking like a cartoon shader, but it's not. I can just turn it off for a minute. There are no shadows. Okay, so this can get dangerous, but I want to do it. I want his smile to be bigger, like the concept. There we go. Big old smile. And let's get his head shaped better. You can also make him a thumbnail and see how it looks as a thumbnail, like really small, and see what you can improve that way. Grab the snake hook and just pull his tail up a bit more. And then I want to just shrink these ankles down. He's going to be 3D printed, so I don't want his ankles to be incredibly skinny. But see how that stretch? I want that stretch in the foot. Yeah, that smile's great. Okay. Let's pull these ears a little bit more like this. Okay, I think we're ready to go back up. Okay, let me save this one more time, just in case it fails. Twitch, twitch. Save, yes. Okay. Okay, fingers crossed, here we go. Drum roll, please. Tom watching you as he wants his Jerry. Let me at him. Look at this. I always love watching the pose come to life. It took 11 seconds. It worked. You know what also drives my eyes crazy are these bright lights. I have 2 bright lights that are lighting my face. And I'm staring at this one. It's right here, shining right in my face. And yeah, I might have to get another setup eventually because that's like staring at the sun. Okay. Looks like I skewed his little thing on the front. So let's I'm gonna grab that and I'm gonna merge these together. Make sure they don't have subdivision levels. They don't. Okay, merge down. And I warped it. Giant mouse choppers. I'm trying to unwarp this thing. It's still a little warpy. Okay. Thanks, Hired Gun. Point them at the wall with a white blanket on so it's not pointing directly at you. Yeah, Clown, I should, huh? Yeah, right now they have soft boxes on them. They're LED lights that you can adjust the warmth and coolness of them, which I love, but they're facing right at me. I should try bouncing that one off the wall because it's right next to a wall. So, but the wall's painted blue. I might get blue light. Maybe that'd be cool. Okay. I just want to adjust his head even more right here. There we go. Okay, let's switch back over to that skin shade. There we go, and turn on the shadows, object shadows. Cool. Yeah, thanks, Clown. I appreciate the advice. Yeah, I'll try it out. There we go, cartoon shaded. I'm pretty happy with how this guy's turning out, actually. Make his head round. In Keyshot, what I would do is, see how his head is really lit up here from a light coming up from above? Yeah, I would light that like that. So let's do some more live Boolean stuff, shall we? Let's kill this one. Not duplicate, delete. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, because I want to duplicate his head and then use this one to cut stuff out of. Right? Folders are the best. Folders! Okay. Let's turn on live Boolean for a minute and then insert a cylinder. I love how his ears look like they've been chewed on. Oh, okay, I got to get rid of subdivision levels. Delete lower, delete higher. Give him some earrings like a pirate. Okay, split unmask points. That's all I need from this one. Delete it. Okay. Check that out. Perfect. Okay, now we can turn on subtract. There we go. Oh yeah, I need to move that left shoulder plate and adjust these straps to match his shoulder, don't I? Okay, I'll do that. Right after I finish with this. Okay, I want to subdivide that down. Well, let's turn on dynamic. Not Dynamesh. Dynamic, there we go. Have I tried Tipos with folders? I haven't. I have not. Okay, let's make this look like the concept. So we have one here and one like here. Oh my goodness. You know what's awesome? Live booleans are awesome. Holy cow. Did you see that? Did you see it? Hey, what's up, Mike? Oh, it's going away. Pop it back through. This one's kind of off and it's turned like this over here. The folders confuse you, like how? Oh, it's not, this one's not going all the way through here. There we go. Oh, funny. All right, let's do a cut on the other side. Oh, hired gun, that was hilarious. What do you hit to apply the Boolean once complete? So it depends on if it's in a folder or not. If it's in a folder, you just you click on the little gear and say Boolean with dynamic on. But if not, you go down here to Boolean right here and say you click on this one, allow dynamic subdiv with Boolean, make Boolean mesh, turn that on, then hit this one. But it's going to make a new Boolean mesh out of everything you can see. So I recommend organizing your live Boolean stuff inside folders, and then you can just live Boolean just what's in the folder. It's really nice. Mostly the part where I transpose and set, then I can't control the separate subtools anymore. You just have to turn off the pizza boxes after you do it. Do you want me to show you? So I'm going to put his, I'll put this in his head in a folder. So Control F, name it head. All right, name it head. And then you can see this folder right here. And I can put the subdiv portion inside that folder. So now see I have a hierarchy starting underneath that folder. I can put his teeth in there because they're part of his head. His teeth. I could put his nose and his eyes. Okay, so let's see if I hide that. Let's see if it hides his head. It does, but there we go. So his head is hidden. Show it. Now what you're talking about, if you want to move his head all together, you just click on this gear and hit transpose set, right? And what that does is it kind of makes that dotted line over everything except for what's in that folder, right? And now I can move his head around. So you look, whoa, head. And now when I'm done doing that, see this little stack? We call it pizza boxes, the stack of pizza boxes. You just turn that off and it's back to normal, like you'd never done it at all. That's how you get back. Yep, that's how you do it. Okay, I'm gonna draw. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna draw a cube over on this side. Oop. Why didn't it appear? Come on, cube. There it is. It is cutting this out. Slice. Okay. There's the ear slice. Isn't that easy? Jeez. Mike, do you have to retopo to 3D print? No, you do not. No. But you do have to decimate. So, well, you have to do two things. You have to Dynamesh to get everything together and then decimate to make it smaller. What happened to my... I lost my... I think I turned... Oh, there it is. I turned it into a cube. Look at this. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, Dan, thanks so much. If you were in my course, this is like a poke. I stream on Wednesdays and Fridays for my students only. So I do a student-only live stream on Wednesdays, and I do a student Q&A on Fridays. So if you're a student and you're in my course, you can come by and ask any question you want. And I go deep with those questions. So I'll take as much time as I need to teach and get the point across. Okay. Let's see. And it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on that too. Sorry, Dan. Join us. All right, delete hidden. There, I got my cylinder back. Okay. And let's get it back to being elongated and turned. There we go. Love you, Live Boolean. You're my favorite. Okay. Thanks, me. All right. Now, let's see. I think we're just about done here. There's a few little tiny details. Let me fix that shoulder pad. Oh, I got to turn symmetry off. There we go. Thanks, James. Where do I send the check? I'm kidding. That's super nice of you guys to say. I love you guys. Make sure symmetry is off. So when I export my model from ZBrush and open it up from Maya, the model's separated into many parts. Turn off, are you using OBJ? If you are, see this little GRP button right here? This group? Make sure you turn that off. Otherwise, it breaks your models into a billion pieces. You know, I haven't used anything but a Wacom product, so I cannot endorse anything but Wacom, but I've heard from a lot of people that the other tablets and things are just fine. So, yep, just do your due diligence and check out the reviews and make sure people like them. Yeah, Neil, come on, man. All right. And then I need to adjust the vest. The vest. Okay. This one is tricky because it has these rings and it has the vest itself, so I think I'm going to have to merge these two things together. Let's see. Is this dynamic? Yes. How many subtools? You can always tell by looking up here. It has 26 right now. Just a few, you know. Okay, so that's on top of that. So I'm going to merge this down so they can both join each other. I need to turn off topological so I can bring the ring with it. Get a big brush size and just kind of, whoop, turn off symmetry. Just kind of drag this up. I'm just guessing at this point as far as how far I have to pull that up. Pretty close. Pull it out like this. Pull it up because him raising his shoulder is going to lift that vest up out of his belt. Like that. I take it you have this model's T-pose saved as a different tool? I do. Yep. All right, let me see here. Turn on perspective. Sometimes you just got to kind of kick back and take a look. I want to fix the curvature of that blade. There we go. Let's see what else. His head is kind of smashed and pulled down a little bit more. Those ears. It's crazy when you move geometry through a live Boolean, because the cut will stay there. I'm going to move that cut lower. Let's see. Right there. Good night from Barcelona. Thanks for hanging out. Let's move that cut down here. There we go. Try and balance that out. Okay, let's make his whiskers, and I think we're going to be done. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on whiskers. I'm kidding. Shouldn't take that long. Let's get his little whiskers. Let me see. I am going to keep symmetry on because I'm going to make him symmetrical as if his nose is right here, and then I'll move them all over as a single unit after the fact. Okay, let's see. Let's make these light so we can actually see what's happening. Ta-da! Okay, let's see. Whoa. Little straws. Is it okay, Cyrus? I'll check that out. Thanks. You guys keeping me in line. When I'm streaming and talking, I overlook stuff so easily. Okay, let's turn on the poly, and then I want to split this. So let's insert multiple edge loops. Okay. There we go. That's a good amount, I think. Let's give that side a tip, and then I just want to bend this. Here's the Tipos Transpose Master trick for bending something. I've shown this in my streams before, but it's always a crowd pleaser. If you put the Transpose Master, this is the way you used to manipulate objects inside of Zbrush. But if you have Move selected and you have your transpose line, you can get to it by clicking right here. Will the whiskers 3D print? They will if they're thick enough. So I'll probably have to thicken these up. But for now, for the render, I'm just going to leave them small. So I'm going to bend these. You just bend them by holding Alt, grabbing that white circle, and just kind of bending them up like that. And let me turn on dynamic subdivisions. I need to split these to unmask points. Okay. I gotta uncrease them too. That would help. There we go. There we go. Okay. But I do want to keep the crease down here. See that mess? That mess it makes right here? I either need to insert another edge loop really close to the edge or just crease that edge. I'm just going to crease it. So I'm going to isolate just that ring, and then you can go over here and hit crease. Is it under geometry? Crease. Crease. There we go. Now when I turn on dynamic subdivisions, see it makes them just a really nice, smooth, bendy thing. So that's pretty good. I like that. Okay, now let's not make them so bright. I kind of want them a little brownish too. So let me grab this color and make it just somewhere in here maybe. There we go. Okay, now turn back to Gizmo, turn off Symmetry. What did you say? Is there any way that Boolean, that I Boolean but I still get smooth cut, not super sharp edge? No, with Booleans you just get a super sharp edge. You have to z-remesh it and then smooth it out after that. So I don't know of any way you can smooth it out, unfortunately. It's just crispy. I wish, though. That would be cool. Okay. 2 whiskers done. I'm kidding. Let's duplicate them. Auto groups. So they're all in different groups. Let's see. Yeah, I might have to make them thinner. Just while I'm here, I'm going to make a third one. Now they're way too even. And they're kind of... Let's see. They really call attention to themselves because they have that black outline from the cartoon shader. If I change it over to skin shade 4 and maybe darken them up a little bit, they won't be so... There we go. That's a little better. Just let the light take care of it and maybe shrink them down a little bit. Man, look at the shadows they cause. How can something that small cause a gigantic shadow? Let me see what happens if I render it out. Let me go to render, filters, and I'm going to turn off this displacement and then render it out. There we go. So that's a better render. But they're still really sharp shadows. I need to loosen up those shadows. They're really sharp. Let me see what happens when I turn on the tune shade. Yeah, they're still pretty dark. But the shadows aren't so crazy. Anyway, I think that's about it, you guys. This is gonna be the final render. Let me see. I'm gonna fix that wrist really quick though. There we go. And I want to add thickness to these boots. I never added thickness. So let me just extrude polygroup all. Oh, come on. What's going on? Oh, thanks, guys. And I want to cut. Let me just really quickly do something with his feet. Does this have subdivisions? No. Let me apply this. I just want to give him some quick toes. Whoa. Thanks, Emma. This is not going around. I'm just going to leave it. I want that toe to be wider. Whoop. And then cut in this one, and then we'll be done. It's too much. You're getting married. Awesome. Congrats. Hannibal, yes. Just an alternative workflow. It's just the Z-Remesher workflow. Hold on, I broke his boots. Because I extruded out instead of in on those things. I don't know why I'm using the mouse. So usually if I wasn't streaming, I would be taking the time to really go through this with a fine-tooth comb and fix everything. Like ear thickness and whatever else is I find wrong with it. You guys saying you still got time? If you want to back out, you still got time? Oh, you guys. Don't do it. decided to download Imm Brushes from Pixelogic thread and you have over 150? Why? I mean, they're fun. I only download what I need for the job I'm using, because I don't want my entire brush palette full of brushes I won't use. But they're a lot of fun to play with. Bill speaks the truth. Okay. That's better. Much better, much better. Just want to push this up a little bit more. Okay. Let's render him. Render, render, render. All right, you guys, there you go. Done. Mic drop. It only took, how many sessions did that guy take? Maybe 4, 5? 4 or 5? Something like that. Thanks, everybody. And like I said, if you want these brushes and my user interface and my ruler file, you can go check those out and get them on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. They're free, and it'll get you on my newsletter. And I also have an online course called 3D Character Workshop, where I teach exactly how to do this thing step by step, so you can learn exactly how to do what I do. If you're interested, I show you how to do 3D printing and how to take it to a game character, how to do retopology, UVs, 3D printing, the whole works. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. There is a button right on my page that says learn more about the workshop. You can watch a really short presentation, and it'll teach you all about what the course is and answer all your questions. So, yep, thank you very much, you guys, and thanks for the testimonials, CyberChris. You guys are awesome. And we will see you guys next Monday. I'm out. So I'm going to be in California next Monday. I'm not going to be streaming next Monday. And then the Monday after that, we'll start a new character. So I don't know if we'll go big or if we'll just do another head or something. I have something in mind that I might do, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, and students of mine, we'll see you on Wednesday. All right. Take care, guys, and happy April Fool's Day. And I hope you have a good one and you don't get pranked too bad. All right. Take care. See you later. Yeah, California, Bill. I'm heading to California for a little bit. All right. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.